Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves in the crypto world lately, and no, I'm not talking about the latest meme coin. I'm talking about a massive Bitcoin cold wallet attack that's left a lot of people scratching their heads and checking their balances. Here's the deal, over 4,500 Bitcoin addresses have been hit, with losses nearing a staggering $89 million. But what makes this really interesting is how it's unfolding, and what it says about the vulnerabilities in even the most secure systems. First off, let's set the stage. This attack stems from a vulnerability in a Coldcard firmware release from March 2021. Now, Coldcard is known for its hardware wallets, which are supposed to be one of the safest ways to store your Bitcoin. But here's the kicker, the firmware used a software-based randomizer for generating keys instead of the hardware's secure chip. Personally, I think this is a classic case of over-engineering leading to a critical oversight. What many people don't realize is that software randomness can be predictable, especially if you've got enough computational power to brute force it. And that's exactly what the attackers did, they reproduced the keys and systematically drained wallets. What's fascinating is how this attack has evolved. There have been 3 distinct waves, each more sophisticated than the last. The first wave was straightforward, draining over 1,000 Bitcoin in just 41 minutes. But by the third wave, the attackers were targeting smaller balances and using complex transaction patterns to avoid detection. From my perspective, this shows a level of adaptability that's both impressive and alarming. It's like they're learning from the community's attempts to track them and constantly upping their game. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. Galaxy Research believes each wave is the work of a single operator, but they can't confirm if it's the same attacker across all 3. The blockchain doesn't reveal coordination between separate sweeps, which leaves us with more questions than answers. One thing that immediately stands out is how this attack highlights the limitations of blockchain transparency. Sure, transactions are public, but attributing them to a specific actor? That's a whole different ball game. If you take a step back and think about it, this attack isn't just about the money, it's about trust. Cold wallets are supposed to be the gold standard of crypto security. But this incident raises a deeper question: how safe is your Bitcoin, really? I mean, if a hardware wallet can be compromised because of a firmware flaw, what's next? This isn't just a technical issue, it's a wake-up call for the entire industry. A detail I find fascinating is how the attackers are now targeting smaller balances. Initially, they went after wallets with a full Bitcoin or more, but now they're scraping together smaller amounts. What this really suggests is that the low-hanging fruit has been picked, and they're having to work harder for diminishing returns. It's almost like watching a predator adapt to a changing environment, except in this case, the prey are Bitcoin holders. So, where does this leave us? Well, for one, it's a reminder that security is never a set-it-and-forget-it kind of deal. Even the most trusted systems can have flaws, and it's on us to stay vigilant. Personally, I think this attack will push the industry to rethink how we approach wallet security, from firmware development to user education. But here's the bigger question I'm left with: as crypto becomes more mainstream, will these kinds of attacks become more common? And if so, how do we prepare for them? What do you think? Is this just a one-off incident, or a sign of things to come? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're a Coldcard user, now might be a good time to double-check your setup. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.